you get it? Is it on?
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Taking Over the World with Ed and Aaron. What's up, buddy?
Live in studio. Both
I
of
know.
us.
It seems like it's been a long time.
It feels like it's been a long time. I feel like the last 2 weeks have been just, they feel like 2 months. With you being gone, me being gone, then just like coming right back into things. With as busy as the team has been too, I just feel like,
Yeah.
woo,
Yeah,
woo.
no, it has been very hectic for the last couple of weeks, I think. But
Good problems though. Like good hectic stuff.
yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
How's your Father's Day weekend?
Spent it the only way we know how, on the baseball field. It was fun, man. It was hot. I thought we lost about 8-year-olds over the weekend. I thought they died. It was hot. But I'll tell you what, I remember why I love baseball and stuff, like watching and helping now coach the AU team, Beckham's team. Dude, it's so fun. They have no filter. They're hilarious. They were dirty as dirty could be. I mean, you got kids with like red faces from the dirt. We played 3 games yesterday. They won the whole thing.
They won the championship?
Yeah.
Nice.
Beckham had a couple really good hits, had a home run the other day. He only pitched a little bit, but he came in and closed out the game and won the championship. It was exciting. It was fun, man. Then topped it off with Udo Carne Asada Burrito from Roberto. That's a lot of O's right there, bro.
I know. You're next thing you know, you're Mexican.
Whoa. Es muy bueno, my compadres would say. How was yours?
Good. We're at home. Went to go see the movie that I was calling the entire day.
That you wanted to see.
One of the movies I wanted to
Okay.
see, but the movie that I was calling all day, In and Out, instead of Inside Out.
Oh, I'm like, what is in? Like, what, you guys went for burgers? Like, what is this?
Apparently, instead I was hungry all day because I kept saying, "Oh, we're gonna go see In and Out."
Do you guys go to a lot of movies?
We like movies. Well, I don't know if we. I think we is too many people in my family. I like movies.
So when you say we, how many is it typically in your family? Like 3, 2?
Well, they go to the movies?
Yeah.
On average, I would say there's 4 of us that go.
Okay.
But I think that the other 3, Mercy and the kids, Mercy, Brendan, and Amanda, I think they go just to appease the old man. Because I don't think they're quite as movie enthusiast as I am.
Do they not understand that you train dolphins? I mean,
No.
quite the story you told me this morning.
Yes.
I don't think, I'm not a movie person.
I am.
I think like my anxiety, my ADD kicks in and like, I'm just like, I can't. I'd be like, okay, that's like, we know what's going to happen. Like, she's going to marry him. He's going to fall in love. They're going to have a little fight, this and that, blah, 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 game over. What do we have to sit here for 2 hours for?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not great in the movie theater.
No, I think that I like it because it gives me an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the movie. Some of the Marvel movies are 3 hours to disconnect.
Okay, so that's interesting. So,
Because I'm not on my phones, right? Because
Right.
you can't be on your phone. So I'm not looking at my phone. So I'm actually paying attention to something else. Because even at home, if I'm watching something on TV, a sports team or a game or whatever, I'm still on my phone, right? On commercials, I'll look at my phone or
Right.
whatever. But for a couple hours, like my mind is tapped out.
so that's really interesting. So, see, when I get to the movies, I'm just like, all right, like I feel like I can go up and down, look at it, look down, like, so I get bored. Like if I go to a movie, chances are I pass out. Chances are it's like cold in there. You get a little recliner in there. The lights are off. Like, see you later, man.
Wow.
She gone. But it's hilarious. So I was talking to one of the guys that I coach with over the weekend. I was like, bro, like you're packing some heat today, bro. Like you've been hitting the gym. He's like, dude, I've been hitting it really hard. He goes, it's just helped me with work and just life being busy. And I used to go to the gym a lot. But I always remember that as a disconnect, like being able to have like your own space where you clear your head. It's just like you put on some music, whatever. And it's funny because exactly what you just said about the movies, that's how I am like with baseball and coaching, right? So like this weekend, we had 5 games over 2 days. But when I'm on the field, I don't have time to take phone calls. I don't check my phone. If I check my phone, it's to be like, hey, where are we at in the lineup? Or, because everything's electronic these days. But so for me, that's the same place for me. It's like, that's where I go. Like, it would be like, hey, you want to go to a movie? You want to go coach a baseball game? Okay. Right? Because that's where I can go and kind of disconnect. And then baseball, it clears my brain. It slows it down. Right? And it's funny how everybody has their own vice. And I'm sure everybody out there has it. You golf or gym or meditating or reading, but everybody has their own vice.
Well, I can tell you that, which I have to get back into that. Because I did see, when I used to work out every single day at 4 o'clock in the morning, it really prepared you for the day.
Sure.
Because you did the hardest thing you were probably going to do all day long at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're half asleep.
It's like that book, like like what is it called, like Eat the Frog or something,
Right?
Where you do the hardest thing first, and you're like, dude, if I can do that, the
Right.
rest of the day's cakewalk.
So I would work out in the gym with my buddy Nate, and we would work out every single morning, and it was like that was tough. Like it was a grueling, and then we would for the rest of the day it seemed like an easy peasy day because you just handled that hard stuff in the morning. So I need to get back to that because I like that.
I need to get back to
I know because I know that I have brain fog and stuff, and let things like fester.
I think it also it picks up your energy too, makes you feel better. Like everything you do, it starts with you, right? Like if you're not the best version of yourself, and it could be your marriage, or how you act with the kids, how you go about your workday. Like I know like when I'm feeling like I've been eating like crap, or
Right.
I haven't been working out, or I've been a bum on the couch. Like I know like it gets in my head like. It makes you just like question, like it almost makes you question yourself and let doubt creep in, like, oh man, dude, you're worthless, you're lazy, like you're. But when you start to get that body moving and start to do things, and you take care of yourself first, then it like, dude, it filters downhill, dude, it runs downhill, right? Then all of a sudden your relationships get better, your energy's better in the office, you're more excited, you're instead of being that irritable guy that's just like. Hey, do you want to get some? What do you mean? Just like,
Instead of being that grumpy old man.
yeah, it's like, hey, you told me a good story about not the grumpy old man, but the guy who was training dolphins, and there was a grumpy guy in that story.
Yeah, I saw it. No credit to me. I saw this somewhere on social media, but it was funny. So this old man was in a parking lot and hit another car. This guy gets out of the car all angry, like screaming at him, yelling at him. And the old man's like, look, I'm sorry. I'll call my insurance. The guy's screaming. He's like, I'm going to beat your ass and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, he picks up the phone and calls his son. And he's like, hey, this guy's in the parking lot. I hit him. I'm trying to talk to him, but the guy's getting completely out of hand. So the son's like, all right, tell him I'm on my way. I'll go talk to him and calm him down. So the guy's like, well, my son's coming. He goes, hey, I'm not afraid of your son. I'll beat him up too. Like, I don't care. He's like, what does your son do for a living that he's so tough he's going to come here and take care of this? And he's like, I don't know. My son trains dolphins or something. Oh, trains dolphins. Oh, really tough job. Whatever, making fun of him. The guy shows up, gets out of the car, patiently walks up to the guy and starts talking to him calmly. And the guy still starts screaming at him, said he was going to beat him up, his old man up, and whatever. All of a sudden, the son decides to beat up the guy who was being a bully.
Handle the business, self-defense.
Take care of business. Then turns around and talks to his dad, and he tells his dad, he's like, Dad, I've told you a million times, I don't train dolphins. I train seals.
As in
Navy SEALs.
the Navy SEALs, yeah. That's that's a small.
It's a huge difference.
Every time when you told me that story, all I could think of was the scene right out of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, where he's like, "Do you know the dolphin? Do you talk to the dolphin?" I mean, tell me that's not where your brain goes.
It does. It does go to that. Well, I'm a Dolphin fan, so it has to go to Ace Ventura.
And then you start thinking, hey, listen, Finkel's Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel's Einhorn. Oh, no. I mean, talk about some lost treasures that we had growing up in movies. They just don't make them like that anymore. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
That's one of the classics. Just like the other day we were talking about, who was it, Fireman Bill? Fire Marshal Bill. Yep.
Fire Marshal Bill here. I knew exactly what you were talking about, too.
Yeah.
But, listen, I mean, there's something to say about the classics, I mean, and it's funny because it's like a good segue into kind of what we've been talking about with, like, the growth of the team and stuff. It's like, you have to have a blend of the classic. You have to have a blend of the modern. And that's just the way of the world. And, those who don't adapt, you hear all this stuff about, I get it all the time, especially at the baseball field. We were having lunch the other day and people, I don't know if they feel obligated to ask me or just in small talk, hey, how's the market? How's work? I'm just like, dude, busy, crazy. I tell them like, hey, we got the team going, the commercial side, the residential side. And we talked like, oh man, that's great. But it's like, now you get so pumped about it, but there's so many ways of doing things. You have your classic, you have what we've just been talking about, going back to the phone prospecting, the flyers, the open houses, more of your classical prospecting methods, which are proven to work.
Right.
But everybody wants the magic pill, right? Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to buy leads, or I'm going to jump to this brokerage, or I'm going to do this because they're going to guarantee me this. Like, we all seen how that works, right? And then you partner it up with the content side, because now, so much value is being presented via YouTube or social media of just clips where people they may not open emails as much anymore, but yet they'll spend 3 hours a day on social media or YouTube or, like learning about something.
Of course. No, and it's funny because we were talking about something in our office about a process, right? And I'm like, yeah, because I don't think this buyer understands the process and how it goes. And sure enough, I think it was a day later is when I saw it. I saw you post a video about the process.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, what? It's like, this guy does not waste an opportunity to post content.
And that became like one of the things I've learned through, like trying to always better myself. And like what I put out there even before is like, listen, if you have the question about the real estate industry, I'll guarantee you somebody else either has it or somebody else is thinking about it or has had it in the past or will have it in the future. So I always try to think when we have those conversations or when we have conversations with clients, any question that they have, like how remedial we may, we talk a different language, right? We start talking about EMD and SRPD and FSBOs and, all this stuff. Like we take it for granted that we have like this secret language that we're able to talk about. And, the public and our clients that we need to bring value to, they don't know this stuff. And so when something like probate pops up and people are like, oh yeah, it's like this or that, like, what? Where did you get this information? Like, no, that has like, and like, I haven't always been the expert in that. And not saying I am an expert in that, but I've had the opportunity to do a handful of probates and I've learned the system. I know how it works. I know the process. You've been around, the process. But like some of these people, they come in and they want to know more than, or they want to act like they know more, or for whatever reason, it goes back to ego, right? It's ego driven. It's like, oh yeah, I know how this works. I do this. Well, someone told me I could do this. Like, tell them they're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, have them call me because I would like to have a conversation with them just to help them out.
Right. And that's the thing is we try to help people. And sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. But we still try, right? We still do our best to give people the right information to help them out the most we can and do what we got to do for people. But yeah, I saw that video and I was like, hey, there he is. There's Mr. Content. There's the team content guy.
I love it, right? And so here's the thing. Again, it's this beautiful blend of classic and modern. You have to have the blend. And that's what I've learned too, working a lot with you and stuff. Is like, hey, you can't be a one-trick pony. You got to kind of be able to do it all. And dude, that video got like thousands of views.
Did it?
Yeah, I had like about 4 or 5 people make comments on it, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. One of my buddies here, he's in town. I know him through baseball and stuff, and he's a lender. He's like, dude, that video was awesome because people are so wrong about this. Like, this was really good. And we always try to keep them short.
Right.
But it's like, probate is such a good opportunity for somebody to capitalize. You can get it because a lot of people, they want that instant gratification.
Right.
It's kind of like me. I'm an instant gratification guy. Like, I will spend an extra couple of bucks and drive to Boulder City to pick something up rather than wait like 3 days and it'll ship to my door. It's like, but in the world of instant gratification, people don't want to wait 45, 90 days for a property to clear probate when, man, you could get a smoking deal in something and, you really don't have a lot of risk in it. If you get outbid, you get outbid. You can protect it, but you're going to get your EMD back, especially from the investment side. Like, you can make some smoking deals here.
Yeah. Like, we paid on some properties that we ended up having to bid on and go through the bid process with probate. So, yeah, we've done both sides. We represented the buyers, we've represented sellers, we've represented investors that are bidding on the properties. I mean, we've done it all. And the rules change. Like it's
Sure.
like everything. So everything, the rules are constantly changing to some to better, some maybe not to better, but they think it's going to better.
Yeah, right?
Like the talking heads. But the rules are constantly changing on what's going to happen. So I think it's good that you're putting out the content, and we need to. I think we need to work more on that so people have, like you said, a library of, hey, let me go look at this. What does this mean?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, we're constantly being given with updated statutes and things like that where you talk about even NAR, like how does that change things? Does it, like the media puts things out there and people interpret it certain ways, whether it's the NAR settlement, probate, whether it's immediate, like in this case it was immediate administration versus non-immediate administration. I mean, you have all these things and even the different types of loans and appraisals and how they all work. It's like people just, there's so much out there and things are always changing. I mean, we've seen appraisals that are like, oh, yep, perfect. And we were like, we looked at ones, we're like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
how did you even get this number? This is terrible. Like, how are you going to give this asset $55,000 worth of value when it's worth like 15? But like things are constantly changing, and we're in this world of video and social media. It's like it's such a good platform to educate people, I guess, is the best, and bring value to our clients.
Right. And try to help people navigate through the real estate. I mean, it is what it is. It's what we do. That's how we do it. Through content, through making phone calls and talking to people. So yeah, it's interesting. But it was funny that I saw it because I was like, of course.
Well,
It was the topic. It was the topic of the day today, and he put it up.
today's topic. I'm gonna start keeping today's. I keep a notepad. People's got questions. I got answers,
There
and
you
if I
go.
don't, I'll find them
Yeah.
and get them out there. Well, and I think too, it's just such a great way of in today's age, being able to like put your personality out there, being able to build a brand. Like people are so visual nowadays,
Right.
So it's like having people get to know you through the video content, and almost like when by the time they call you, be like, hey man, like I've had people refer me, based on me meeting them in person, them seeing my content, and they're just like, hey, this guy's awesome. But it almost feels like they already know you and you've already been working with them by the time they actually reach out and want to work with you because they've seen you. They see you, your personal stuff. Hey, Father's Day, went to the movie. Hey, we were in Hawaii. Hey, this guy's a baseball coach. It's like, and they start to build, almost that bond before you even start working with them. And we know that this industry is just the major focus is relationships.
Yeah, I got a referral this week. It was funny from a past client, and the guy calls me and says, "Hey, do you remember so and so?" I was like, "Yep." They're like, "Hey, do you remember Stacy and Bridget?" I'm like, "Of course I do. I've talked to
Yeah.
them. I've had dinner at their house a couple times after they moved in." Oh well, he asked me to call you because he said if you want to get something in real estate, you were real patient with them. You helped them
Yeah.
through the process. Helped them navigate selling in California and buying here. Like, we're kind of going to do the process. We're not ready just yet.
Right.
And I was like, well, it took him 3 years to set.
Oh, right.
So I'm assuming that you weren't going to be just, hey, I'm moving this weekend.
Right.
So he scheduled something for next week. But it was funny because he says, he sent me your text with your information, but he didn't include your name. And I was like, oh, so how'd you remember my name? He goes, well, Ed is my middle name and my dad's name, so it's easy to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But to the point of the people that really are fans of ours, as far as we've helped them, when they talk about you so much that even before they refer you, people know who you are.
Absolutely. 100%.
And I think that we can't change. Things go south sometimes in this business, and things
Yeah.
are positive and negative. It's just that's business in general.
Right.
But you never go south. You never go with it, right? You're just like, I'm going to keep my course. I'm going to continue to do my things. Every time I think you insulate yourself better with the right people around you to do better. But you just keep going. And it's funny, we were working on a large deal in commercial. And the guy wouldn't take our offer, said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to put it on the open market.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It is what it is. Um, the new agents that had it reached out to me because I had the buyer and said, "Hey, we're gonna do this." I'm like, "Yeah, we're not interested at that price. We already made an
Right.
offer. Like, we're not gonna pay an extra 1.5 million because you think it's worth that because it's really not." So we put it with, but the agent that had the listing, the pocket listing, I went to him and I said, "Hey, they're reaching out to me, so well, let's see what happens." He reached out to the other guy and he told him, "Hey, remember you carved out our deal, so if it doesn't work out with your listing agent, then we can still do the deal together." And this weekend he reached out. He was like, "Hey, can you give me numbers on what it would look like selling?"
Well, and that just, that always goes to the fact, dude, I love it. And, and I think that's the thing that we try not to get caught up in is that dude, you're going to have some wins, you're going to have some losses. But we don't waver from who we are. We don't jeopardize our reputation. We don't jeopardize our quality of work. You hear all these people like, hey, well, I'll do it for X amount less than everybody else. And you get these discount lawyers, discount real estate agents, discount everything. And at the end of the day, like discounts are good. Don't get me wrong. I like me a discount, but there's some things that like I'm not willing to cut corners on. And I
Right.
always go back to my favorite. What is like a lawyer? Man, if I've been accused of something and I'm not it, and I feel like wrongly accused or whatever, like I'm not calling up like discount lawyers, $99 will represent your case. Like, no
No.
thanks. No, like I'm not putting my marbles in that jar. Like, give me the guy that I know is going to get the job done. And I think when we don't waver and people are like, well, will you do it for this much? Like, could I? Yes. Will I? No. Like, because of the value we have, the style that we bring, we're going to bring you more. And we stick to our guns. And it's not that we're trying to be rude about it, but we understand the value we bring and the work that we know we can do and the numbers we can get. And that's why, we've had for sale by owners. Call us back. I've left it. I've left meetings with them and been like, listen, it is what it is. You got my information. Here's everything. I've been absolutely candid and truthful with you. Listen, I'm going to still do my job and work to try to find a buyer for you. And if anything changes, give me a call. Or if you need anything, give me a call. Day later, 2 days later. It's like, kind of like the car dealership, right? When you
Yeah.
walk out, they always call you back. And they'll be like, just like you said, hey, can you represent me? Because we didn't go there on false terms. Because we didn't try to spin some narrative. Those phonies and, you get all those experts, right? Like how many times have we seen like, hey, come to my class. I'm a social media expert. I've closed X amount of deals in 90 days. Like, right? Correct. And we all know where this is going, but hey, listen, it is what it is. Like if you're going to put it out there, you better be able to back it up. That's all my point is. And so when people start manipulating the truth and headlines and stuff, did you get exposed? And people don't want to work with those people.
Oh Lord, it just the good and bad of the platform, right? I've had a couple people reach out that want to go to school, become real estate agents, right? And ask me, hey, can you help? And I've been like, yes, no problem, I can help you do that. Um, and we've helped them. We've gotten them registered in classes and doing what they need to do. Um, but it's funny how the platform too, when you're doing well, you have so many haters and so many people
So
just.
many haters.
It's just so funny how people are like, hey, I'm gonna. Like, what can I possibly get from this person?
Dude, it's almost like you start to measure your success by the amount of haters in the comments you get. Because it's like, and then you know what? The biggest takeaway for me for that is that where they're putting their energy.
Right.
So if I'm doing well, you're going to spend your time not trying to find out what I'm doing and be better. You're going to find out a way to try to bring me down or
Right.
shit on my success or this or that. And we're not perfect by any means, but
Nope.
like you take our arch nemesis, Willow Manor over there, right? Right? It's like
Well, there are friendly.
they're our friendly arch nemesis, and
Yeah.
I say that jokingly arch nemesis, but you look at that. Do they ever come up and be like, "Oh, dude, you guys cheated, you guys did this, or
No.
you guys are full of crap"? Like they're like, "Cool,
Game on.
hold on, we're coming.
Hold my
right?
beer.
Yeah, hold my beer, right?" And it's the same thing that we do. Like we know what kind of agents they are. They're a great team. They're a respectable team. They have a great reputation, and we don't go try to dismantle that to make ourselves look better.
No.
We go, hey, listen, they're studs. Okay? So we can either compete with them And you know what? If they beat us on a listing, it is what it is. Move on. Or if we beat them on a listing, I'm sure they would be like, ah, man, you guys got us. Hey, but it's not over yet, right? But none of that becomes, oh, you guys discounted or cheated. It's not like
No.
that. And that's why you see, I think that's why you see the success with both teams because they build off each other. Instead of trying to bring each other down, they're like, okay, I'm using this as motivation, not somewhere I'm going to waste energy on trying to figure out, how to beat the system.
Well, truth be told, this weekend, I get a video
Oh, no.
from Mr. Zach Walkerly
Oh.
on Saturday. And he's like, hey, I'm just here in the office, working today, walking
Hey.
by, looking at the boards and kind of seeing what's changed.
Yikes.
So, yeah, it's...
But what does that do to you? Does that make
Oh.
you want to be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna go pull their numbers now and look at why, like how they cheated or, like this. It makes you, because you know that they have a good reputation. You know they mean it in good competition, right? Like as much as we want to
made me
be better
laugh.
than, they push, right? Like you almost want to be like, thank you. Thanks for the video. Thank you. It's like I had a call. We were on a mastermind with my coach this morning, and he's been kind of riding. He's like, where's that new truck you wanted? Where's that new truck you wanted? Right? And his point of telling me that is like, listen, sometimes you need that motivation to hang on the wall, and them taking over is that motivation for our team to get better. But when you look out in the driveway and you see that new truck, it's kind of that motivation, like, dude,
I gotta get to work today.
I'm gonna get to work today, right? He's like, stand out. Make people see that you're successful. Make people, put it in your mind like, dude, if I don't get up and get my butt to work and take care of my clients the best way that I can and create the value, create the relationships, someone's going to show up with a tow truck and take that truck right back, right? And nobody wants to be in that situation, but it is.
That would be a horrible situation.
It would be a horrible situation.
Especially if it's wrapped.
Maybe is that a form of marketing though, as they're towing it away? Like, oh, look at there goes free marketing. Probably not the real estate agent you want to hire.
Imagine if they try to sell it at auction with your wrap on it.
Oh, I like it.
No, what do you mean you like it?
And that might be a good play, marketing play. Just try to wrap as many cars as I can and sell them in auction. Just start flipping cars.
How many cars can I get approved and just sell them at auction?
Disclaimer: do not take that strategy. That is a poor marketing strategy and poor financial decision making. But maybe I'll start paying people to wrap their cars for me and drive them around town.
Oh, that would be good. Well, it depends on the driver.
It's true. We can't have the guy that tried to fight the dolphin trainer.
No.
He does not need to ride. I have, though. That is one thing. I am an avid horn user. Like,
Are you?
And my wife will get mad at me. She's like, why are you honking? I'm like, I would like them to know that I know that they know how bad they're doing right now.
You want them to know that you know that they understand that you know.
100%.
Right.
I want them to realize that I've seen them do terrible, terrible work behind the wheel. I would like them to recognize that I've recognized that they're terrible. But now that ever since I got my truck wrapped, I've had to lay off on the horn.
So you don't be.
It's just not a good look.
No.
It's a rough. Hey, you're terrible.
But no,
by the way, call me.
No, if you
scan
beep,
the QR code.
If you beep, you gotta wave.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, then Brooklyn will be like, Dad, someone's staring at your truck. I was like, then my mind goes like, oh, I don't flip them off. Did I cut them off? Did I flip them off? What happened? She's like, they look like they're typing in their phone. I'm like, oh yeah, let's stay here for a minute. Let's hold. Maybe they're scanning the code on the truck.
That's what you want to do. You want to hold so they can type in your stuff. So we have a new member of the team that just got licensed.
Oh yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, how long have I been gone? And I was like, yes, been a member of the team, but license finally came in.
Well, now he's officially a member of the team. 'Cause he was a team of the member, and it's funny. I forgot to tell you this while you were on vacation. This is gonna probably catch you off surprise. Ooh, forgot to tell you this. So while you were gone,
The Blue Angels called.
no,
Dang it.
no, you would have known that because I'd be jumping off the roof.
Shoot.
Like I'd be jumping.
Don't jump off the roof, then you can't fly with the Blue Angels.
Oh no, I figured it out.
Okay.
Somebody we interviewed. We're not gonna say the name, but somebody we interviewed.
Oh, I love these games.
Um,
Somebody we interviewed. Okay.
that we talked to. They never got back to us. Never responded.
Yep.
Never did anything.
Right? Yep.
All of a sudden, sent a text
Okay.
or an email and said, "Hey, sorry, been busy for the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're still looking for teammates, I'd like to join." We'll talk about it next time.
Oh, I want a cliffhanger now. I'm racking my brain. I got a couple. In mind. I've also got like one in mind that I'm like, ooh, burn that email. We're good. Just because I think we got a good dynamic now, like I feel like now it's one of those things like now that I think we've built and we've seen the success that we've had with the group that we have now, like being a little pickier.
Oh,
I shouldn't
100%.
say pickier, but like maybe doing a little bit better R&D, doing a little bit more better interview process, and we're super transparent, and like your question or statement always at the end about our culture, it's like, dude, we're different.
We are.
We're different. Like right, wrong, or indifferent. We wear our emotions on our sleeves. We don't have a lot of filters. We're open. We're not going to sugarcoat things. Like, no, we're not going to sit there and demean you by any means, but we're going to help. Like, we're going to push you to be better.
The best version of you.
Yeah, the version of you is the best way to put it. And so now I'm interested about those names because I know we've interviewed a few. Now, like probably a month, 2 months ago, I'd be like, yeah, bring them on. And now I'm like, no.
Now we have to re-interview people.
Yeah.
Because I think the culture and the dynamic and how we get along as a team is really in a good place.
I think we tested the waters last week with it. I think we tested
testing
the waters.
is an appropriate.
I mean, we pushed that thing to the brink.
Oh, you're going to include yourself in
No,
that.
Not me. You pushed it to the brink. I walked into, hey, watch this. Okay. Whoa! Now we're doing it. But it was all in good, tasteful fun, and I think if we survived that,
Did you ever get the answer?
I didn't get an answer on my end.
Did you ask, or you did? Or you chickened out?
No, I didn't. I haven't chickened out, but I haven't. I just kind of forgot about. I was going to do some research on it too. I'm interested to see though. Listen, I'm gonna get my side of this answer.
I need to get your story.
But the culture's good. The culture's good today, baby.
All right, brother. Let's have a great week, and we'll be back hopefully in studio next week together.
Heyo.
Heyo.